Chapter 1. The Beginning of Changes. In the depths of a cozy apartment, where the light fell in soft rays through thin curtains, Anna lived. She was an ordinary girl among many others, but there was an unusual spark of passion for life in her heart. Her dreams were high, and she dreamed of a big and beautiful world full of adventure and love. Anna worked in a publishing house, where every day was a new challenge. She loved her job because it gave her the opportunity to immerse herself in a sea of words and ideas, creating something new and inspiring. Her colleagues were like a second family, and she enjoyed every day spent with them. But unexpectedly, Anna met David. He was a man full of mystery and fascination. His smile was a magnet, drawing her to him, as if she was destined to fall in love with him at first sight. Their acquaintance was accidental. At one of the parties where Anna got invited by her friend, she couldn't take her eyes off him that night. He was so charming and confident that it seemed as if the whole world belonged to him. And although Anna was always careful in relationships, her heart was filled with warmth and tenderness when she talked to him. But something was strange. With each passing evening, she began to notice some strange changes in his behavior. He became more reserved, often withdrew into himself, and avoided answering simple questions. Anna tried not to attach importance to this, because she so wanted to believe that she had met the one who could become her true half. But even in the brightest moments with him, some kind of dissatisfaction did not leave her. It was a kind of premonition, like the shadow of an approaching storm that threatened to destroy everything around. And so began this confusing and mysterious path on which Anna had to unravel the secrets that David was hiding, and see if she would be able to accept the truth when it came out. Chapter 2. Shadow of Doubt. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, but that mysterious aura around David only deepened. Anna tried to ignore her doubts, because she was attracted to this attractive man who knew how to fascinate her with his charisma and smile. But the more time they spent together, the more it became clear that she knew too little about him. He was a mystery that she was trying to solve, but the deeper she delved, the more she realized that this was not just a mystery, but something much more complex and dark. Anna's friends began to notice that she had changed. Her cheerful and carefree character began to lose its endless energy, and instead, shadows of worry and anxiety appeared on her face. She tried to hide her feelings from others, but deep inside she felt that something was going wrong. David promised a lot, but he didn't keep his word much. His actions became more and more vague and mysterious, as if he was keeping his distance, preventing Anna from completely immersing herself in her world. It was like an invisible wall separating them, and the more she tried to cross that barrier, the more it strengthened. But despite all the warnings and doubts, Anna continued to fall in love with David, admire his magnetism, and hope that in the end she would solve all his riddles. She was ready to go through fire and water, just to find the true connection she had been looking for so long. But what if instead she finds something that breaks her? The fear of this thought slowly but surely began to penetrate into her heart, leaving behind a trail of dark shadow that could not be dispelled in any way. Chapter 3. Secret Footprints. With each passing day, as Anna continued to unravel the mysteries surrounding David's behavior, she plunged deeper into a world of suspicion and distrust. She couldn't rest until she solved all the mysteries that he had wrapped around his personal life. The notebook with encrypted notes became the main object of her research. She spent hours sitting at his desk, deciphering strange symbols and trying to figure out the hidden meaning behind the mysterious messages. One day, when David was at work, Anna found a CD in his office that looked like a regular computer program. Interestingly, this program was forgotten by him on the table. She decided to check what was on it and inserted it into her laptop. The boot screen started, and suddenly an encrypted program opened in front of her with a description of some files and folders. Anna realized that this was something very important. She began analyzing the contents of the disk, examining each file and folder, looking for a clue. Among the many files, She found documents that seemed useful secret projects, research, mysterious schemes. But what exactly they meant, Anna could not understand. All that was clear was that David was hiding something much more from her than she had realized. This discovery shocked her greatly. A storm of emotions began inside Anna, from fear and disappointment to anger and resentment. She felt that she was on the verge of a truth that could completely change her life. But she also understood that the force that kept her on this path was stronger than fear. She decided to continue her investigation no matter what, because she knew that only the truth would free her from this dark secret that shrouded her relationship with David. Chapter 4. Revealing the Secret. Anna immersed herself in working with the disk, trying to solve every riddle, every encrypted string. She spent her days and nights forgetting about sleep and rest, focusing all her energy on this one important task. There was a fire of determination in her eyes, and she was ready to go through fire and water just to reveal the secret that lurked behind her lover's mask. With each new decrypted code, with each open file, Anna felt that she was getting closer to the truth. She began to put the pieces of this puzzle together, and eventually they began to form a coherent picture, a picture that put everything in its place, but at the same time blew up her world like a bomb. It turned out that David was part of a secret group engaged in very dangerous experiments and research. He was involved in projects that Anna did not even know about, and his work was related to the development of technologies that could change the world. This discovery shocked Anna to the depths of her soul. She couldn't believe that the man she loved so much was hiding such an important and dark part of his life from her. Her heart was torn apart by grief and betrayal. All her ideas about him, about love, about the future, collapsed like a house of cards. But in the midst of this haze of disappointment, Anna gained strength. She realized that now was the time to make a decision. She could have walked away from David, discarded him as a traitor, but she decided to go the other way. She decided to talk to him, to try to understand why he was hiding this from her, and to understand if there was still any chance of salvation in their relationship. So she took decisive steps to meet with David and talk to him. She knew this meeting would change everything, but she was ready for it, because she knew that only frankness and sincerity could pave the way to a true happy ending, whatever it was. Chapter 5. Meeting the Truth. The meeting with David was scheduled at sunset, in the old park where they first met. Anna was sitting on a bench, waiting for the sun to slowly set over the horizon. Her heart was beating so hard that she was afraid it could be heard all over the park. She didn't know what to expect from this meeting: a conversation, a quarrel, the sincere truth, or new deceptions. When David finally approached her, his face was a mess of emotions: detachment, fear, but also something else that Anna couldn't identify. They looked at each other, as if trying to read with their eyes the thoughts and feelings that they had hidden from each other for so long. "Anna," David began, his voice sounding strained and trembling slightly. "Me? I do not know where to start." Anna was silent, looking at him with mixed feelings. She didn't know what to say, how to start this conversation. Storms of misunderstanding and grief raged in her heart, but somewhere deep inside, her desire to understand and accept the truth was strongest. "Why did you hide your real life from me, David?" She finally broke through, her voice broken but determined. "Why didn't you trust me?" David lowered his eyes, as if ashamed of his actions. "I was afraid, Anna. I was afraid that if you found out the truth, you'd leave me. I didn't want to lose you." His words sounded like a confession of his fears and weaknesses. Anna felt mixed feelings: pain, regret, but also a kind of relief that he had finally opened up to her. "But why, David? Why couldn't you just trust me?" She whispered, looking into his eyes. The sincerity of her gaze was overwhelming. Then David raised his head and met her gaze. "Because I love you, Anna. I was afraid that if you found out who I really was, you'd turn your back on me. But I realize now that my fears were wrong. I love you more than life itself. and I'm willing to be honest with you, no matter what the price is." David's words pierced Anna's heart. She saw the sincerity in his eyes, felt the warmth of his words in her soul. She realized that despite all the difficulties and trials they would have to overcome, the love they shared was true and strong. And she decided to give them another chance, because some stories deserve to be brought to an end. Chapter 6. A New Beginning. Under the sunset sky, on a bench in the old park, Anna and David exchanged words and emotions that had been hidden in the depths of their hearts for so long. It was a moment of truth, a moment when they both realized that their relationship could withstand any test if they were honest and open with each other. The words, "I love you," sounded like a blessing, filling the air with tenderness and hope for a new beginning. Anna realized that it was difficult for David to cope with his own fears and doubts, and she forgave him for this, because love was stronger. She realized that their bond wasn't perfect, but it was real, and that was the most important thing. Days and weeks later, Anna and David began to build their relationship anew, based on sincerity, trust, and mutual respect. They spent a lot of time together discussing their feelings, dreams, and plans for the future. Every day was a new step in their renewed journey, and they enjoyed every moment spent together. For Anna and David, this period was a test and an opportunity for growth. They learned to open up to each other, share their thoughts and feelings, and support each other in difficult moments. They realized that true love is not only joy and fun, but also the ability to overcome difficulties together, next to each other. There was a lot of work in their relationship, but every step taken together brought them closer to each other. They learned to accept each other for who they are, with their strengths and weaknesses, and to build their love based on mutual respect and support. Thus, Anna and David began a new chapter in their story, a chapter full of hope, inspiration, and opportunity. They realized that love is not a static state, but a constant movement, constant development, and growth. And they were ready to walk this path together, hand in hand, knowing that their love would only grow stronger with each new day. Chapter 7. The Way Forward. Over time, when several months have passed since Anna and David decided to start all over again, their relationship has become stronger and more confident. They both worked to be the best for each other, and every day brought new discoveries and insights. They spent time exploring each other even deeper, discovering new sides of character and interests. Together, they discovered new places, traveled, exchanged ideas and dreams. Every day was filled with new adventures and surprises, and they never stopped enjoying every moment spent together. Over time, Anna and David realized that they were not only in a relationship, but also building a common future. They began to discuss their plans and dreams, to think about what path they would like to walk together. They dreamed of a home, of a family, of creating their own world filled with love and happiness. But they also understood that there could be trials and difficulties on the way to happiness, and they were ready for it. They knew that love is not only joy and fun, but also work, effort, and acceptance of each other in all aspects. And they were ready to walk this path together, hand in hand, knowing that their bond would only grow stronger with each new challenge. So Anna and David went forward, boldly and confidently, knowing that new horizons and opportunities were open to them. They were ready for any challenge because they knew that together they were invincible. Their love was stronger than any obstacles, and they were ready to do everything possible to preserve it and protect it from any threats. So, with each step forward, Anna and David continued their journey, filling their lives with love, happiness, and meaningful moments. And they knew that together they could overcome anything that would put them to the test, because their bond was strong and their love was eternal. Chapter 8. Eternal Union. A few years later, when Anna and David had already lived many happy moments together, they decided that it was time to confirm their love with eternal bonds. They knew that they were meant for each other and wanted to celebrate their strong bond before God and the world. So one day, Anna and David gathered their loved ones and friends together to celebrate this special moment in their lives. The ceremony was simple but beautiful, filled with love and emotions. With each exchange of vows and rings, their bond only strengthened, and their hearts were filled with happiness and gratitude that they had found each other. After the ceremony, as they stood together under the bright sun, amid the congratulations and smiles of their loved ones, Anna and David felt that they had finally found their home, a home in each other's hearts. They were ready to accept all the joys and trials that life would bring them, because they knew that their love would become a support in all life situations. From that day on, their lives became a new chapter in their eternal history. They continued to build their world together, enjoying every moment that was given to them. Their relationship became even stronger, and their love became even deeper, and they knew that nothing and no one could separate them. So Anna and David walked forward, holding hands and looking in the same direction, knowing that they were not only husband and wife, but also inseparable souls, intertwined with eternal love. Their story has become a legend of faith, hope and eternal affection that will live in their hearts forever. Chapter 9. New Horizons. Over time, Anna and David continued to build their happy lives together. They overcame all difficulties, looking at them as a challenge that made them stronger. Their relationship only grew stronger over the years, and they found joy in what they did together. They explored new horizons, traveling the world, learning about different cultures and traditions. Each new adventure brought them closer to each other, deepening their understanding and respect for their partner's own roots and culture. Together, they overcame the obstacles that stood in their way. They were ready for change and adapted to it together. Every obstacle was overcome by joint efforts. Their bond was only strengthened by the fact that they stood up for each other in difficult moments. They also attached great importance to family values and traditions. Together, they created a cozy home where an atmosphere of love and harmony reigned. They enjoyed every day they spent together and every moment they could share with each other. Their family gradually grew, filling their lives with meaning and joy. They became parents, taught their children to appreciate and love each other the same way they loved each other. Their house was filled with laughter and joy, and they knew that their love would live in the hearts of their children and grandchildren. So Anna and David continued their journey forward, with confidence in their partner and in the future they were building together. Their story was a story of faith, hope and eternal love, which overcame all obstacles in its path, and they knew that their strength together was what made them invincible. Chapter 10. Boundless Love. Eternal happiness together. Over time, as Anna and David looked back at their lives, they realized that every moment was filled not only with love, but also with infinite wisdom. Their journey was not just a collection of random events, but an exceptional experience that taught them to appreciate every breath, every moment spent together. They lived a life filled with adventures, trials, and joys, but the most important thing was their constant, great love for each other. With each passing year, they realized that their bond was becoming stronger, deeper, and more unshakable. Their souls were entwined in an eternal union, continuously shining with light in the darkness. They realized that love is not only emotions and passions, but also devotion, patience, and respect. They have learned to look at life with optimism and an open heart, giving each other tenderness and support in the most difficult times. Every step taken together strengthened their bond, making her immune to any trials of fate. Their story has become a source of inspiration and hope for many. They have become a symbol of eternal love, a symbol of strength and wisdom that can overcome any obstacles on the way. Their family has become a fortified fortress, radiating warmth and light around them. When they looked at each other with love and gratitude for all that they had experienced together, they realized that every moment spent together had become a valuable treasure in their lives. They knew that their path was perfect, their destiny for each other, and they thanked every second for it. Their story did not end, it went on forever, like the eternal movement of the stars in the sky. Their love was boundless. It transcended time and space. It remained eternal, like their souls, which were intertwined by an inextricable bond. Anna and David knew that their bond would live forever as an eternal symbol of true, endless love that overcomes everything that stands in its way.